Hello, everyone. This is Devin Thorpe. I am excited to have with me a special guest. We have Heidi Twitchell here with us today, and we're going to talk about some things going on here in Salt Lake and its suburbs. Heidi, thank you very much for being with me today.
Thanks for having me.
Today is kind of a big day in the community. Today is in the social entrepreneur community in Utah. It's the launch of the crowdfunding campaign for the Hub, which you are familiar with. Mm-hmm. And I know that you're deeply involved with some other similar projects here in town. So you're involved with a couple of them. Revolution United, which is a group of nonprofit and mostly young, enthusiastic, excited, change the world crusader types. And you are a classic member of this group. Just absolutely a dynamic, young, excited, energetic change maker. So tell us a little bit about Revolution United and what's going on.
Revolution United is awesome. I came across it on Facebook, and that was probably, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago now. And that was at the time when I was working to found my nonprofit organization. And I just read the information about it, and it basically said, we're an organization that supports all of the good things that are happening in our community. And so, all the other nonprofits that are just starting or even just causes, doesn't have to be organizations. And I was like, oh, sweet, I need support here.
Yeah.
I need some help. And then, I ended up meeting David Brooks, who's the founder of it. And
great guy.
He's amazing. He's brilliant. And I'm fortunate to be working towards some of the smaller projects within the organization to get those realized right now. And I don't know, it's just been a really cool experience because as I've talked to more and more people around here that are doing nonprofit work, I realized that even my cause that I started out with, to work for, kind of just ended up growing and growing and growing because we're all interconnected. And so that's what that organization's about.
Well, it is amazing how a cause isn't really a cause until you get a critical mass of people. And once you do, it really begins to take off, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And this is really taking off. He started, I think, 3 years ago. I might be wrong, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And and it's just been growing and growing. And so there's some really neat things that we're excited about right now. Indie Underground is one of them. So
what's Indie Underground?
Indie Underground, well, that's funny that you say that because I'm kind of working on the 30-second elevator speech for that right now. But basically it is an organization that fosters the creative expression of individuals within the community and also does what Revolution United does and promote and support the efforts of good in the area. Great.
And then you're also involved with the launch of a co-working space out in Sandy called the Lab.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us just a little bit about the Lab.
The Lab is a lot like Revolution United is. Revolution United is housed in a building called the Project. So we've got the Project up here in Salt Lake City. We've got the Lab getting going down in South Salt Lake, right? Sandy, mm-hmm. South Salt Lake. And, essentially a lot of the same ideas. When I talked to David, I was just like blown away because he had all the same ideas that were going on in my head. And then I talked to John Hansen, who's doing the Lab, mm-hmm. all the same ideas. There's some kind of crazy thing going on. But anyways, it's, another place for creativity, innovation, for learning, for promoting good in the community. The founder of it, John Hansen, he has sentiments for single mothers and children with autism. And so those are, his particular causes, but it's supposed to be another collaborative space to bring good in the community. So.
Fantastic. What are some of the other projects going on at Revolution United that you're excited about?
The Legacy Initiative is pretty cool.
What's that? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's a homeless community for rehabilitating homeless individuals in the city of Salt Lake. Mm-hmm. And that's actually being proposed by Travis Heisel's organization, which I think is the Legacy Initiative, isn't it? Okay. I don't remember. Anyways, I think that's a really cool idea. They're wanting a plot of land in Salt Lake to develop a sustainable living community where there's an intake system where if they're homeless because they've had drug and alcohol abuse, mm-hmm. and blah blah blah, whatever the problem is, multifaceted problem usually,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They're directed then and given the tools basically to be able to become independent living individuals.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's such a huge problem. Anyone who
and it's
lives
growing
downtown,
really badly.
yeah, there is certainly an increase in the number of homeless in Salt Lake and an increase in panhandlers. I'm not sure those two things are synonymous. In fact, I'm sure they're not.
They're not.
But
they're
both
related.
both are increasing. It may reflect, as some hypothesize, it reflects the generosity of the community here in Salt Lake. It's a generous community. I hope that's the cause. I like that excuse for it. That we somehow attract people who are in tough situations. But in any case, it is growing here in Salt Lake, and so I'm eager to see what we can do to help address that problem. Now, your background is really in education. You're an actress, come teacher, come activist. Tell us a little bit about your path.
Oh, goodness. Okay, well, where should I start?
Start with actress. People will be curious about that.
I was an actress.
You're an actress, good.
I still am an actress. I act every day of my life. I just don't get money for it. I was a kid actress. I was on TV shows and movies and stuff in the 80s and 90s, and I wasn't.
Yeah. And then you became a school teacher.
Yep. And so I taught school for 10 years, and I taught elementary school primarily, some middle school.
And you've told me in the past, you've become somewhat disillusioned by the education system, and you feel like the system is letting down our kids as a result of too great a focus on testing and standardization and the national curriculum. Tell us more about what you think the education system ought to be doing instead.
Getting rid of Pearson.
Getting rid of Pearson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, this is probably really controversial, but it is really controversial. But if you watch the prioritization of funding in the schools, and you kind of do your tracing the money trails, they head back to one corporation, basically. All of the testing materials, all of the teacher preparation materials, all the student preparation materials, it all goes back to Pearson, and they've got people in government who are making ed policy decisions. And so, I've never been a conspiracy theorist. I always thought it was crazy, you know. But then I experienced being a public school teacher in the last, 5 years or so, where the first half of my career was really good. I loved it. I was, appreciated. I really enjoying my kids, which I did the whole time. But more and more, things happened where I was asked not to turn in my grant to the Arts Council, and I was told to sell the program for our gifted programs, things like that, where it was like, okay, they're asking me to be dishonest with parents, they're asking this and that. I just didn't feel right doing it anymore. I was sick. It made me sick.
Yeah, it's. I think you want children to be first in education for some crazy reason. Is that kind of your philosophy? I know you're passionate about the arts.
Euphemisms. Like, no child left behind is a euphemism. Sorry to interrupt you.
That's all right. No, I think that's good. So, I mean, clearly your passion is to see better education and see kids actually like school again. Boy, I think there are a lot of people that agree with you, and so I thank you for the effort you're making to change the world and help our kids. So thank you for taking time to be with me today. It's great. I appreciate you coming in to visit. We don't usually get people in studio.
Oh,
yes, this is very rare for us, a special treat. So thank you for coming by to visit with us about Revolution United and the Legacy Project, the lab, and your passion for education.
Thank you.
Let's do some good now.
All right.